So that's what we have tonight. Let's have a look here. Sorry, give me a second. Not very organized. I saw your chat thing there. Oh God. Oh God. Excuse me. Oh, God. Thank you. Thank you, precious. Thank you, necessary. That's great. I'll put these over here. So, we got these lined up. Thank you. I see your notes. Oh God, I can hardly breathe. Let's put that over here. Excuse me, this is not planned. I'm just going to move this out of the way for now. Keep this handy for a moment. Okay. Alright, let's see what's going on. Hi. Hello, hello. Hopefully this will work. We have transmission. Yes, we have transmission. Good evening. This is TarotLumination. It is Sunday night, 13th of April, 2025. Life moves on. We just came out of the full moon over the weekend. It was more like Friday night and Saturday rather than Sunday, but it's still pretty big, still pretty full. Hi Tina, what's going on? Long time no hear. So, it's amazing. I get amazed every time we can do this. It's been going on for years. I arrive here, I get everything set up. I keep thinking, wow, this is actually working. We get to hang out and connect. Some of us, literally, we've been here for years. I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, tonight it's just all about tarot. I'm going to have a quick glance over the astrology just as a reference point. Sure. Let me, yeah, Tina, sure. You know the routine. So, I don't know how many I can handle. I'm already up to 3 now. Thank you very much. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, it's been a very interesting time. I don't know about you, but let's go over here. I love watching the charts every day, whether I come on YouTube or not. Some of you know I go over onto Rumble where I do my astrology rant. And I give myself permission to be pretty open with my opinions and feelings. But over here, we're just going to keep it, as, let's call it safe. What? Pax went to her second nose work class and did It sounds like you're training her to be one of the the service dogs, when they go out in search and rescues, SARs. Yeah. So you've already got Charlie and Sasha. They're already trained for search and rescue, I believe. So Pax is there as well. That's cool. That's so cool. Amazing. I saw something in the headlines yesterday about Albuquerque, but I don't remember what it is, Tina. Maybe you could remind us if it's appropriate. This is, let's go over here. Let's see, I'd just like to have a look around. Okay, so there's Tina, right over there. Right over there, there's Tina. There's a necessary right over there. And Precious Moments is, it's not on the map. Precious Moments is up here, way up in the great north of Canada. It's probably still very cold over there. That's what I would imagine. All right, I'm going to put your magic post-it note up there, okay, Tina? Make sure you're there. Oh, it's for fun? No, it's for fun. My lungs can't do search and rescue anymore. I didn't know you had to do it yourself. That's insane. No. No way. Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, let's have a look here. All right, we'll go. That's it. That's probably all the readings I can handle today. Hello, Elizabeth. What's going on? Long time. It's been a long time, buddy. I should have called you. I've been up to my eyeballs in stuff. You know, just trying to deal with life like we all are. So there is, okay, Tina, necessary, precious, Love Triber, Elizabeth. I know where you live. I know where you people are. You can't hide from TarotLumination. Cheers. I'm having a little iced coffee. Alright, let's have a look over here. Oh, the governor sent the National Guard and the help. Oh, for the Albuquerque police. Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. That's very serious. Alright, so we just had the full moon. The moon was over here just the other night. Well, last night it was over here. So we had a very vivid opposition with the Aries and Libra. So it's classic dynamics of relationship issues. I was very lucky. Over the weekend, I had a visit from my brother, and we had a chance to really fill out and enjoy our sibling relationship. We got to experience each other out in the wild. We went out hiking and sightseeing all over the great Southwest. It was wonderful, just wonderful. Oh, they will not be armed. Okay. Well, maybe they should be. Anyway. What's it all to do with, let's say, criminals or the folks, I've been paying. You've got money. Yay. Thank you. So, yeah, I was very lucky. I was right here. There's the Aries sun. There's the Libra moon. And I was really enjoying my relationship with my brother that day. I don't get to see him very often. And I had a lot of interactions with relationship issues, all for the couple of days preceding all of this. And I feel very lucky because I don't have a lot of conflict in relationships. And because I've got to a point in life where I've found ways to navigate or delete or just not get into situations where there's conflict. Drugs and crowd control. Aha. Okay, I see it. I get it. Excellent. Oh my gosh. I should probably not talk about it, but I'm going to. I'd never seen this before, but over in Vancouver, that's Canada, okay, just up there, where it was. Anyway, the Vancouver, I guess British Columbia police. Oh, liability. Okay, I get it. No, I get it. Thanks for explaining it. Yeah, I felt very, very lucky. It's funny because I like trucks, and my brother arrived very late Saturday night, very late Friday night. Went over to a hotel, camped out, picked up a vehicle, and came over early Saturday morning. So we spent the whole of Saturday together. And when he beeped the horn outside the house, I went, "Oh, my brother's here." So I went outside, and he was in a massive, one of those big, heavy-duty monster truck. Not the ones that are, flying off the ground, but a big truck with a, 4-people cab. It was absolutely gorgeous. And so it felt a lot of fun being in a very dominant position on the road where you can see everything. The truck is so wide you can hardly fit it in the lane, and the mirrors are so wide it's even further. That's the one. That's the one I was just going to talk about, Precious. Right, so it was a massive drug bust. I got to see. Hi, Gregory. Hello, hero. So over in Vancouver, they had that massive drug bust, and I found it through the Epoch Times, and they had all these photographs of the drug lab. I'd never seen one like that before. It's like, I've seen meth labs and things like that, but this was very fancy. It was for all the fentanyl. And it's very advanced stuff. Some of those criminals obviously had very pretty advanced biochemistry and chemistry capabilities. They must have gone to colleges and universities to get those kind of skills. And so anyway, I'm very glad they were taken out. Very happy about that. But there's a lot more that needs to be done. There's so much damage. For some reason, over the last couple of days or so, my whole brain has been filled with these feelings of the horror of what humans do to each other. It is just mind-boggling. We've got about apparently 8 billion people on Earth. There's about 2 billion that live in dire poverty. There's at least 100 million that are borderline starvation, cholera, no water. They're just being murdered. There's lots of very violent, ugly wars all over Central Africa, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and so on. And it's just another day on the news, Oh, so-and-so died, another 1,000 people died over there. These people did this horrible thing to those people over there. It just goes on and on and on. It's just so disgusting. Erica Loves. Hello, Erica Loves. Hi. All right, let's dive in. I've got a couple to start. You know what? Let me just have a quick scan over the astrology just for fun. Harry, you've been unemployed for 7 months. When will I find a suitable job? Ouch. Okay, I don't just do spontaneous pull cards at the moment, but maybe just hang in for a bit. I got three clients in line right now, so let's take care of them. Okay, so anyway, here we are, good old America. Right now we have a very loose but pretty nasty Grand Cross. I've been feeling very, let's say, under a lot of pressure today just to adapt with the new conditions in the world. Some of you know I pay a lot of attention to global astrology. This would be the astrology for the whole world as we see it right now. If you've never been here before, then I do these shows every day on Rumble, TarotLumination on Rumble, if you're interested. What's that? There were 4 sheriffs in Placitas. What? No way! Shooting at the wild horses. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sure somebody thinks wild horses are a bad thing. I don't think that's good at all. So, Tina, you already know what I would do if I was there, because as you know, I'm very well protected, and I exercise my Second Amendment rights, and I have some very powerful armory. I would have I would have ended up being the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Forget the wild horses. I would get the shooter. Just take him out. It's funny. I've always felt very strange how I have absolutely zero sense of, compassion towards people like that. I really do find it very strange that I get very, very angry about animals. I've had people, animal abuse. I've had people evicted from their homes, people arrested for animal abuse, even family members who've been abusive of animals, and I just will not tolerate it. I've had to do all sorts of pet rescues recently. It's kind of heartbreaking. Again, it goes on all day, every day. There's only so much you can do, but if it comes right to my face, right to my door, right to my purview, my world, I take care of it as best as I can. I hope that, hello Strings and Things, I hope that shooter gets justice. I hope they get, literally I hope they get taken out. Sounds awful, but that's how I feel. So anyway, as you can see, it's a very extreme chart. We've got Mars and Pluto heading towards these very precarious cusp situations, so the energy of war, literally war, is really going to amplify across Earth. Is it going to be a trade war? Is it going to be a tariff war? Is it going to be the hot wars over in the Middle East and Europe? It's going to be all of that. Is it going to be financial warfare? It's going to be all of that. We're going to see that early next week. Why? Because the moon is in Scorpio right now, and soon enough it's going to be exactly opposite Uranus right here. Here is Uranus. It's slowly approaching the crisis degrees. And so I believe we're going to see some pretty shocking headlines around the world regarding global finance. Again, the same subjects I was kind of mentioning. Things like global tariffs, shock and awe in the currency markets, in the stock markets, foreign exchange, and so on, as places like Russia and China are convulsing in their economies, and so on. So I don't know if you're affected or not, or whether you care or not, but I'm very concerned about these things. Luckily, I'm pretty insulated, so that's not the problem, but I'm very concerned about what's happening with the world. Some of it is truly spectacular and wonderful. As you can see, we have these amazing trines over here, sextiles over here, another sextile over here. So there's a lot of amazing, wonderful stuff happening around the world right now in terms of massive transformations that are ultimately better for humanity. And sadly, for those who abuse humanity in any form, they are the ones who are going to suffer from this wonderful healing energy that is spreading across Earth. The healing energy is effectively one aspect of humanity that is free, strong, and healthy and vibrant, and wishes to reclaim its health and vibrancy, having been heavily abused for decades. And it is going to be diminishing the tyrannical, evil energy fields from the evil people on Earth. So that is another war. That war is the freedom versus tyranny war. All of that's going on, okay? So powerful opposition now. We're going to have that opposition Monday and Tuesday. And then also Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have the financial shock waves. Just small ones, okay? It's just a moon opposition here. But we are going to see some pretty, let's say, what's a really good word for it? Profound. We're going to see some very profound financial activity across the world Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, okay? So be prepared for that in case you're a huge, big player and you're deep in the markets and you've got millions of dollars at play and so on and so on. But meanwhile, it's just us here at TarotLumination on a Sunday night doing little mini tarot readings. Thank you for your kindness and your donations and everything. Hello, Tina. What's that? It's getting worse. The governor just passed that the horses would be treated as roaming livestock. They've lost their protected status. Oh, no, 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 no. They are DNA-tested Mustangs that the Spaniards brought over. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, there's something very sick. Oh, God. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, Tina. I know there are times when we have to, do protective measures. But the way I see it, most of the protective measures should be how do we protect animals from humans rather than humans from animals. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. But anyway, those are my feelings, and I'm pretty blunt about them. Precious, you're up. I'm going to do, I think you put a note earlier. It said for your reading you want health and well-being. Is that correct? Let me just double check. Where was she? Where is it, Precious? Health and well-being, drug and crowd control. Where is it? I saw your notes there. Wait a minute. There it is. Health and well-being. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Is the show active? It looks like it's active. It looks like it's jammed. Hold on. Hold on. There's something wrong with the transmission. I have to double check something. I have to do a bit of a technical thing here to see how the show is actually. Fluffles, oh my God, Fluffles, I've got about 5 people. I don't know if I can make it. You know what, Fluffles? Give me a second here. I just got to check a technical thing. Give me a second, Fluffles, okay? What was that? What? You got your food stamps and your access cut, plus a 3rd flood in 1 year. Okay, that's not right. There's something very nasty going on over there. That's awful. Oh, God. There's some... Sorry, give me a moment here. I've got to check stuff. I've got to check a couple of things. It looks like there's something wrong with the transmission, but I can't tell. Okay. Looks like it's working. Over here it's jammed. There's something jamming up, but I don't know what that is. Okay, so I am not able to monitor the show at the moment, which is kind of strange. Okay. Robin. Oh, hi, Robin. Wow, everybody's here tonight. Wow, welcome, everybody. What a crowd. So, here's the thing. I'm pretty up to... I'm not in the strongest frame of mind. We've got 3 readings lined up already. We've got Precious Moments, Necessary Truths, and Tina Miller, okay? What's that? You got to help. What was that? What was that? Fantastic. How are you doing, Robin? What's that? Rob, I'm trying to catch up with the chat. Give me a moment. Okay, first, Fluffles. First of all, Fluffles. I don't think I can handle it tonight. I've got 3 lined up already. Occasionally I'll do 4. Let me see how I feel if you want to hang in and wait all that time. But if you want, you can do a little mini donation, and I can do a mini reading for you tomorrow and just send it. I'll just, we've worked together before on big readings and so on. But if you just want a mini reading, do the usual donation. Yeah, I see Fluffles there. It's just that I don't know how much I can handle in one night at the moment. Yeah, I know. I'd like to do that, but what I'm suggesting is that if Fluffles is okay with it, I could just do a recorded reading, create the file, and then send it to you. How would that work, Fluffles? I'll put that over here. Let me know, Fluffles, okay? Fantastic. I got to help a bunch of people, and every client cried. That's great. I think that's tears of joy. Is that correct? Okay, Robin? Not pain and suffering, maybe relief. Relief from their grief. Well done, Robin. Yeah, that's excellent notes there, Necessary. Excellent notes. If they're not crying or laughing, you haven't finished your job. True. It's true. Okay, I gotta go check some notes. Well, I'll check your notes when I get to you. All right, Necessary? I haven't even seen them yet. But they're there and I know it. All right, let's have a look here. See how this works. All right, so, let me do a little bit of shuffling here, and then we will get on with it, okay? Sorry, got a little bit sloppy there. I'm blaming it on the weather, not the planets. Well, the planets are basically what control the weather anyway. So anyway, just let me finish here, Precious, and we're almost ready to go. Dear Precious, you know the routine. We've worked together lots of times before. You might want to sit on your hands or just get cozy and comfortable. Invite your invisible friends to get very, very close. Just picture yourself at the TarotLumination campfire at the beautiful TarotLumination retreat in a magical place, in a magical planet, okay? Okay? All right, so let's have a look here. So for health and well-being, now as most of us know here that you've had some pretty horrific health issues, but you still managed to chuckle and put a smile on it all the way through. Job issues, family issues, issues with your children, all of it. It's just a flustercuck. Is that the word? Have I got it right? Flustercluck. A fustercluck. A real fustercluck of health and well-being issues, all combined at once. Health and well-being challenges, all combined at once. All right, let's have a look here. Now, when I start doing this, I probably won't be able to see much in the chat, so just please bear with me. Hello, Gregory. I saw your notes earlier chatting with Tina about all the business going on there in New Mexico with land developers and water and the wild horses. It just sounds like something. You know what? Give me a second, Precious. I'll be right there. It sounds just like what you would see in one of those like old-fashioned Western movies, Bonanza or something, where the local people are fighting. There's the Indians over here. There's the white cowboys over there. There's the Mexicans over there. There's a piece of land over here. There was a movie, I think it was based in a true life story in New Mexico. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gregory, okay? You might know this, but I think it was called the Milagro Beanfield Wars. And it was about these vicious wars that were going on in the Southwest regarding water rights. And, so because water, it's life. It's the source of life. And so there's a lot of huge problems in the Southwest regarding water today, even today right now. But the Milagro Beanfield Wars, I think that had Robert Redford, and it was a very old movie, but it was a very poignant. I think it was based on true life, yeah. I did. See, I nailed it. I knew it. All right. Anyway, that's what's going on right now. Some dirty, nasty shenanigans. Okay, just another water rights issue. I was telling folks, before you arrived here, Gregory, I was telling folks I had a fantastic day out yesterday with my brother. Wonderful, right on the full moon, spectacular. Road trip adventures, hiking, sightseeing, all the mountains, the trees, the snow, the ice, the wilderness. It was wonderful, just wonderful. And the thing that was the most obvious is that over here in southern Nevada, it's just raw desert. Except where you have Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is like the city that shouldn't be there. 120, 130 years ago, it was just an outpost, like a wooden shack with a little bit of a well and a bucket to get some water for travelers who would be going across the pioneer pathways to get to the gold rush in California. That was it. Here's a shed. You can tie up your horse. You can take a nap over there. You can get some water and then move on tomorrow morning. That was it. And of course, the water table, the aquifer, was used up very, very long ago. And now it's all artificial water. I don't know how they get it or where they get it, except from Lake Mead, which is over there. That doesn't make sense either. But anyway, new houses are sprouting up like weeds everywhere at the same time that the housing market is collapsing. Very, very bizarre environment. Developers are very strange people. Okay, let's have a look. All right, precious, let's have a look. Health and well-being. All right, what kind of messages do we have here tonight for precious regarding health and well-being? Let's make this a broad spectrum reading, okay? Health and well-being for Robin and herself and her kids, her family, her home, her work life, because all of that was affected over the last couple of years. It's just been a horror story. I'm so sorry for you, precious. Let's just see what's good. But the thing is, like I said earlier, you've got this very, very big, wide Sagittarius aspect of good humor, and you've still managed to come up with a smile or a laugh somehow. All right, here we go. What's that? Hold on. Phoenix shouldn't be there either. I agree. Vegas means springs. Gregory, what's the name of the novel? Okay. Did they find the missing vet yet, TL? The missing vet. Oh, gosh. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Tina. Let me get on with the reading here. Maybe put some notes later, and I'll get back to you. All right? Okay, here we go. Precious. Gather around your invisible friends. Imagine the beautiful campfire. The air is perfect. The embers are rich and red. There's a bit of flame. There's a bit of smoke. It's beautiful. We're all hanging out in a nice circle. Very supportive. Here we go. So everybody who's watching, you know all this very well. But in case there's some newbies out there, this is my situational spread. All my spreads are custom. I only use 3 spreads. This is my situational spread, and it's basically a diagnostic tool. Just the same as when you go to an auto shop and you're telling them, oh, my check engine light's on. Hi, I'm desperate. What's going on? They take a little black box like this and they plug it in under the dashboard and they run a computer and it tells you your mass air sensor is screwed. Or your spark plugs are shot, or your fuel lines are blocked or something, whatever it is. All right, here we go. Brace yourself, precious. You never know what's going to come up. All right, here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle it. All right. What I like to think is that we have a very loving community in our own weird way. Let's have a look. So, external influences, I like to blame the planets, and the planets right now are in a very, very extreme, let's say, orientation. It's very, very rare that we get anything like this. Pluto on the cusp, Neptune on the cusp, and there's Mars is on the cusp here too, but also Uranus is on the cusp, okay? But later this year, this is going to be this aspect here. It doesn't look like much right now, but it's going to become extremely acute, and we're just going to have to live through it all to witness how it plays out in the world, okay? So a lot of it is to do with healing and reorientation of life and world. Okay, let's have a look. External influence. So we've got this. Excellent. I'm very happy to see this. This is the 7 of Wands. You are a trooper. Okay, precious? I don't know how you do it. I truly don't know how you do it. Somehow or other, you must have some kind of like an invisible superpower inside of you which finds its way to the surface when you are facing like insurmountable odds. And this is kind of this is almost, I'm thinking of this as Mars energy, where, I mean, if you would think of energy like that as maybe the swords and stuff, but I'm thinking of this like more to do with Mars, where Mars is in Cancer right now, and you are fighting very, very hard against all odds to maintain your home and family, and somehow or other, God knows how, but you are doing it. Okay? You must have some kind of superhuman power inside of you. So I see this as positive. I'm really happy for you. Okay, what's the situation itself? Okay. Peace. Okay. So we've got the 4 of Swords here. My feeling is that maybe let's just look at it this way. My first impression is that, dear precious moments, you deserve a precious moment for yourself. With everything that you've been dealing with over the last few years, your physical health, your financial health, your workplace health, your children's health, your accommodations, health, and all that stuff, all of it has been very, very challenging for you. And it's perfectly okay to put yourself off the clock, even if it's for a few minutes, a few hours, maybe a day. If there's a way, I don't know if you have connections with church or anything like that, or any kind of sanctuary place where it's a safe house, you know. Some people go to a church to find sanctuary. It might be really, really nice for you just to, look in the mirror and tell yourself, you know what, precious? For God's sake, you deserve a break. Give yourself a break. Talk to yourself and convince yourself and brainwash yourself that in order to keep going, you have to heal yourself. And right now, the best form of healing that you can offer to yourself in order to continue to live life in this very, very, let's say, active situation is to check out for a minute. Literally. I mean, if it's as simple like maybe create a ritual of having a 10-20 minute nap every day. Just shut the door, tell the kids this, tell your employers, your boss, whatever it is, everything that is you're normally dealing with up to your eyeballs. Deliberately, it's like it's time for you to deliberately create a new protocol where you prioritize yourself, okay? Because you can't continue this unless you are in your most optimal condition yourself, okay? So let's have a look. How are we going to, let's see. I hope that makes sense for you, okay, precious? Because I believe you put yourself under a lot of pressure because you have to. But you don't want to take that to the point where everything just goes kablam, okay? That's not healthy. You're going to have to, it looks to me like it's time for you to institute a self-healing regimen, okay? 20-minute nap. Or maybe it's something like having get out of the house, go to a place of sanctuary and peace, and just chill. All right, what are the challenges here? Okay, so we've got the Queen of Cups. To me, this looks like it's an amplifier of what we discussed over here with the planets and how the planets are affecting you and your world and how you are taking up the challenges as effectively as you can, and which is really noble, and that's great. But like every human, you have limitations, okay, precious? You've got to give yourself a break now and again. The Queen of Cups in this position, every now and again you might doubt yourself. God, how the hell do I do it? How on earth do I keep going? You already know that you have a very big heart. You have massive capacity to take on massive loads, massive stress, to the point where you end up in like hysterical laughter, like, I don't know how I do it. I don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy here. But you have to laugh or else you'd cry, right? So with the Queen of Cups here, my feeling is you're very aware that like it's love that makes the world go round, but every now and again it's just like, jeepers, man. I wish my own cup could be filled up by somebody else, from somewhere else, so I don't have to be the permanent source and this permanent fountain of love for my world around me. Because sometimes it's depleting, you know. How about time for the Queen of Cups for me? What about the Queen of Cups for me? Is anyone going to offer a Queen of Cups vibe to me? Anyway, that's understandable. But you keep going anyway. Somehow or other, you keep going anyway. Also, with this Queen of Cups thing, of course, now, precious, this is really, really important. because we're physical beings, we have limitations. We have limitations with our health, our strength, our intellect, our body, our knowledge, our wisdom, our talents, and our gifts. We can only do so much in a 24-hour day with who we are and what we've got. So what this card is also saying, it's really not important. It's not just important for you to prioritize your own health and healing so that you can keep going in your world, but you've also got to become more discriminating and more, let's say, conscientious and careful about how you dispense the healing power of love in your world. In other words, think of this as like a limited commodity. Yes, it can be filled up, but it's also like a gas tank. It's not always full. When it's full, sure, it feels great. You can offer the healing power of love to your kids, yourself, the world around you, until the tank runs out. Then that's where we have a problem. You can't keep draining the tank. You do not want to run your life on empty the whole time and then, oh my God, I'm on empty again. I learned that over here during all the, the lockdowns over the last 5 years. It's very important to keep your own gas tank topped up as well as possible. And that's your responsibility, okay, precious? You have to do that. You have to make sure. And then when you are dispensing your loving abilities, you have to be very discerning about that. Like, so much to so-and-so here, so much to so-and-so there, quite a lot to so-and-so over there, a little bit less over here because they're not in such bad shape, and I need to save that for later. You have to be very economical and thrifty and very, very conscientious, all right? Next, how are you going to deal with these challenges moving forward, okay? Let's have a look. So, moving forward, King of Cups. Well, that's interesting. You got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. Huh. You know what I'm feeling here? It goes back to this one over here. When you're going into your moments of sanctuary, 20 minutes a day, okay? When you're doing that, I think it's really important. Here's what I'm sensing. This sounds really weird and extreme for a tarot reading and for the King of Cups. But it feels to me, you've already got a strong connection with God, your maker, okay, and your angels and all of that good stuff. But it's very important to maintain that and keep that in a very, very strong faith, okay? What I'm sensing here is that the King of Cups is actually representing the extreme, ultimate mastery of love, the actual phenomenon of love, the healing power of love. So what do you do with that? The King is extremely conscientious and aware of the extreme value of love, the healing power of love. And the last thing the King of Cups is going to do is waste that energy where it's not effective and not worthy, okay? And so I'm almost seeing this as a representation of God, okay? And so when you're in moments of prayer and privacy and your own self-healing, it might be advantageous to pray to your maker, your God, all of that, for very clear guidance, very, very clear instructions and guidance. So in other words, dear God, hi, I'm Precious Moments. As you know, I'm dealing with an awful lot of stuff and my hands are really full. I need a break. You know I need a break. You know I can only handle so much during the day and the night. And I need a break. I need to keep going. And I just got a tarot reading from TarotLumination, and he's saying I have to be really discerning and very, very careful about proceeding so I don't waste my energy, okay? So please, dear God, my own personal version of God, please give me very specific guidance, signs, instructions that tell me exactly what to do and how to do it so that I know when I come out of my nap or my prayer or my sanctuary or my self-healing, I know exactly what to do so that I can be very judicious and discriminating with how I dispense the healing power of love, okay? Because these are basically complementing each other. God is working with you. God wants to work with you. And all you have to do is reach out, okay? God is literally no farther away than your invisible friends, okay? Very easy to reach, very easy to get in touch, and you can get messages brought back to you, okay? So, all right, hold on. Okay, I can't keep up with the chat right now. Sorry, hold on. Oh, I see your note there, Fluffles. Right, so Fluffles, just let me know. You know, just a reminder for anybody who's watching, for future readings, you can go to TarotLumination.com, you go to the donate page, you press the donate button, and you can do a payment. Scroll down, you can use a debit card or credit card, and it goes straight through, and bam-o, it shows up here, and then I can do your reading, okay? Okay. All right, let's have a look here. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, next up we've got necessary truths. You up for that, necessary? There's an awful lot of chat going on. I have no idea what's happening. What is on that? A voice in my head. I can't control what I did last month. I'm really scared. Oh no. Huh? Oh, okay. Ah, hold on. I don't understand what's going on here. Give me a second. I gotta catch up. Thank you, Precious. Let me just clear the deck and shuffle up. All right. Give me a second here. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Okay. I'm completely confused here. Okay, so necessary. You're suggesting that we're going to catch up later, and you want me to donate your reading to HGRV. Okay, is that right? Okay, but I don't understand the subject matter. If you could translate for me, that would really help. It sounds like voices in the head type of thing. Really scared. Is someone retarding me or my best friend Christian Mosey? Why do I keep hearing targeted? Welded. Sunday. Widow. So much more. It's a voice in my head that doesn't come from me, please. Found his truck keys with a wallet? What? What? What's going on with this video about kicking a whore? Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to go over here to a little minute and second till I'm a little clearer about what on earth is going on here. So it looks like there's one story about you've been hexed. It's just making me feel like something bad is about to happen every time I try to be optimistic about my future. It's never happened to me before. Okay, I have some comments already. There are people who are able to project energy. Energy projection can be positive or negative, okay? I've been very, very fortunate. Hernandez, I'm just speaking to you just before I even go any further. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat and understand what's happening in the show here tonight. But regarding projected energy, I've been very lucky to receive astronomical healing power of love through healing hands, things like Reiki, super advanced yoga healing type stuff, okay? And it's fantastic. It's literally, you can do remote healing. It's an incredible phenomenon. And you can research remote healing, okay? But the very same energy field can be used for evil, okay? If someone is intended that way. Some people decide that they choose evil. And some people, instead of doing direct confrontations with someone, if someone is harboring evil towards another person, but they don't want to do any kind of direct confrontation, and if they have a certain, let's say, a certain mindset, or they have a very warped psychology or a very distorted heart or soul, they can project energies just like a remote energy healer, but for evil purposes. And that would be the same as somebody putting a hex on you, where it's like they're sending these disgusting, horrible, evil signals. So it's a very real thing. It's extremely powerful. And if you are sensing that in your life, in your world, okay, it's because someone is feeling very malicious towards you. Okay, Hernandez? Okay, I'm just checking on... You know what? Just let's keep this very, very simple. What kind of messages? I'm just going to do the most pure way we can do this, all right? There's no point... We're talking about a warped energy situation. So I want absolute purity in the reading. I don't want to have it prefaced with a question or an expectation or any kind of outcomes, okay? So let me dive in it. We're just gonna dive in, okay? Thank you, necessary. Okay, I'm just gonna call you HG, okay? So what kind of messages do we have for you here tonight? It sounds like you're in a very distressed situation because you're feeling like you're being hexed by someone who has some sort of evil intention. Maybe it's not even anyone you know, but most likely it is someone that you know personally. I don't think it's your own energy working against you. That's not my feeling here. In my experience, when you're having a sense that something is coming at you, it's because something is coming at you. It might be very personal. Maybe there's someone in your life who has very malicious feelings. All right, the cards are already shuffled. All right. Okay, another thing, what you said about feeling optimistic about your future. So, goodness. It sounds to me like you're under some kind of psychic attack. All right, let's have a look here. What kind of messages do we have here for you? Also, one other thing for you, Hernandez, is that if you are in the grip of fear for whatever in your life, perhaps, like you said, job, work, or something like that, maybe the cash flow is bad, you don't have enough money coming in, that can trigger intense fear. Intense fear, it can be very magnetic towards attracting that nefarious energy to come at you. If it's from another person, another situation where it becomes like a self-fulfilling energy, okay? So, in which case, it's like it creates a fear of loop, okay? Okay, so let's just, okay? All right, let's have a look here. There's only, please, there's only so much I can do. I'm just literally going on the fly here, and I'm going to give it the way that works best over here so I get the maximum purity. And you're going to have to reinterpret for your own situation in person. But it sounds like you're in a grip of the way energy works, where you're unwittingly you have, let's say, gone out of your depth and you've been exposed to what I just call raw energy. In a way that you are not used to navigating, you're not used to handling it, you don't know what it is, where it comes from, and you could feel it like, oh, I am on the verge of insanity, I'm going insane, I'm losing my mind, all of that. Don't worry, I fully understand, okay? So, it's funny, the mind, how it works, how it can be the most amazingly powerful tool, but it can also be our own worst enemy, okay? Here we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges. Here's how we're going to handle things, all right? So just take a few deep breaths, okay? Take a few deep breaths. Understand that you're surrounded by angels, whether you like it or know it or not. They are there. They understand that you're in pain, that you're suffering in your own unique way, and they would like to help. And I think what is happening right now, live at this moment, is that with this little tiny mini tarot reading, it's like we're opening a portal that allows the chance for healing to occur, for the healing power of love to occur, where it can enter your world like taking a little pill, okay? and it'll give you a sense of relief. It's almost what they call, what I call, you could call the placebo effect. Like if we convince ourselves here right now, live tonight, that this little mini reading is actually like a healing that's happening to you right now, and I tell you, dear Hernandez, this mini reading will help to heal you. And you go, oh, okay, thanks, TarotLumination. But I'm not giving you any pills or anything. I have just used, let's say I've just brainwashed you to believe that you actually have the ability to heal. Okay? Because you do. All right? Let's have a look here. What's the external influences? So with the Six of Cups here, my feeling is that you've come in from a very well-intended, a well-intended person. In some ways you might be very kind of innocent about certain aspects of life, not knowing what the full extent and the full implications are about day-to-day actions of life. Like you're talking about intercourse with someone, and some of the words that you're using, what do they actually mean for you? And if your situation right now involves intimacy with another person, then my feeling is that you might be going through some, I mean, this is stretching it a little bit, but some kind of past life reunion, which is happening live now in real time in this lifetime, in order for reconciliation, for healing from something that might have happened in a very, very, very recent past life that was shared between you and another person. Okay, because it sounds like this. Okay, so something's going on here. And so in this case, your heart might be extremely vulnerable and extremely open to anything and everything that's going on. And if part of a past life reconciliation is to do with healing, then that's one thing. But if there's another reconciliation where it appears as love and wanting to reconnect, like lovers from a previous lifetime, but there is some bitterness involved, and they want, in other words, let's pretend there's two people who loved each other, okay? I love you, you love me. I love you, you love me. And they had a life together, or maybe multiple previous past lives together. But over time, there were certain errors and things that happened that were extremely painful, either for you or the other party, but they were never healed, okay? Nobody ever took the time, because you had to carry on living at that moment. So there were certain amounts of healing that are very, very necessary, but never actually had the chance to happen in the previous lifetime. And then you come into a new lifetime and you encounter a person, and it's obviously some kind of soulmate, and the soulmates are looking for some kind of reconciliation, basically healing. And it can be shocking, because maybe it's something very pent up. Maybe there's some very, very deep bitterness and anger and deep pain that was experienced by the other party without you knowing. Perhaps you were offending the other person, and you didn't even know the other person was very, very badly hurt, because you still wanted to keep loving each other. Does that make sense? Or it might have been vice versa. Maybe you were extremely badly hurt by another person, but you wanted to continue to be loving because you had a life to live. But now it's time for healing and reconciliation, and the pain is being revealed. And it's a very extreme pain, and it has to be communicated at the level and extremity of the pain to catch attention and reach that level of understanding. And that's what needs healing, okay? Let's have a look. Okay, so with the Page of Pentacles, it makes me look like you're a little bit innocent here, and you've been caught off guard, and it's putting you in a very frightening, scared position about security in your life. What's happening in my life? Am I going insane? Is my world falling apart? Whatever it is, okay? And you realize, okay, well, with the Page of Pentacles, in this particular mini reading, what this Page of Pentacles is telling me is that in your own way, you're quite a young, innocent soul, and you're learning things that are very intense and very advanced in a very short space of time. And you're having to learn them here on planet Earth in a physical, material way, because that's the only way you will learn. It's the only way you can heal. That's the only way you can evolve and grow. So that's what's happening. And then you suddenly realize, oh my God, am I really that innocent? Am I really that naive? And I had no idea the true depth of what's going on here. Oh my God, I have so much to learn. Holy Jesus, oh my God. Okay, so let's get a little bit lighthearted here, okay? There's no point in you continuing to terrify yourself with all sorts of, oh my God this, oh my God that. Am I being attacked? Are there demons after me? Sure, yeah, maybe you can describe it that way. But it's fear, okay? And fear, it's triggered by the deep need for healing. I think it's the healing between you and another soul in this lifetime. Okay, what are the challenges here? Makes me feel like the Ace of Wands, with the Ace of Wands here, it makes me feel like, is there any chance that this could even be possible? Is it actually something to do with sexuality and sexual behavior, where everything was great or could be great or might be great or is great, but having discovered innocently that, let's say, intercourse, making love, exchanging love between self and another isn't always just about having delicious orgasms, either for you or the other party. Because what happens in these situations, there's a tremendous amount of energy that is exchanged in a human congress. And I believe a lot of people don't fully understand the nature of that energy field. And if you are born in a lifetime where you have certain expectations, like, oh, it's always supposed to be great. I'm always supposed to get off and have an amazing time. And if the other person has a problem, well, that's their problem. What am I supposed to do? And the same story could be vice versa. Okay? And so it makes me feel that you might be a little bit innocent in this regard. And then when you open the portal to, when people come together like this, it just opens a massive energy field where a lot of unexpected energy can be exchanged. Like, for example, let's say you're a person, you're this person, there's that person, you're attracted to each other, you get together, you have a sex life, and so on, and it takes you to the next level. You think, wow, this is so cool. Well, are we going to have family and make money, have babies, and do all the traditional stuff? Or is it all about, sexual transformation? Because a lot of times in human congress, it can be a very transformational process. A very deep, profound changes can happen inside of someone physiologically, mentally, psychically, without even knowing that can happen. It's not, for a lot of people it's very strict, it's very, very pure. It's purely for making babies and having a family and love, okay? For some people, it's just disgusting stuff. For some people, it's just naivety and innocence. For some people, there are healing and growing relationships where the sexual congress is part of the phenomenon, where people come together, they transform. Transform means irrevocable change, and the release occurs where you become a different person. The other person becomes a different person. So there's the before and the after. So, like, for people who have an expectation that, oh, it's always going to be great, we're going to have sex 3 times a week, we're going to have 3 children, and everything's going to be great. And when I never need to get off, I'll just do that with them. And whenever they need to get off, they'll do that with me. And if we have to, we'll take contraception, and so on and so on. And it's going to be wonderful, okay? Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't really work that way. It can be very, I guess you can condition yourself for it to work that way, but it's not really that way, okay? So anyway, You might be in a situation where there's a deep transformation going on in your life, your physical life, which is kind of unexpected and beyond your scope, but it's very much to do with about healing the past. Some kind of past life, some kind of past life relationship where two people came together. Maybe they had a family, maybe they had babies, maybe they were lovers, something like that. This is very beautiful energy, but something I feel went wrong. And now it's this moment in time where healing has to occur, and it's a bit shocking. It's caught you off guard. Okay, let's have a look. How do we move forward? Okay, it's time to apply some intellect. This is an amazing opportunity. We've got two aces here. So, with the Ace of Swords here, my feeling is that whatever it is you're going through, okay, it's an amazing opportunity for you to become extremely wise very, very quickly and understand that you're not going insane. You're not like some kind of crackpot lunatic. You are a person who's going through a profound transformational energy healing. Okay? Whatever it is. Like on the confession thing there. Like if you've done something really, really horrible and deep down you know it, there has to be reconciliation. Okay? If the other person has done something very, very horrible and you know it and they know it, reconciliation, healing, transformational energy healing. Okay? And I think if something horrific happened like that, it happened in the context of a situation that was previously loving. So this is an amazing opportunity for you in your life right now for transformational energy healing, because that's what's happening. What you're dealing with are the symptoms of the opening phase of the transformational energy healing phenomenon. And you will understand that this is an incredible, profound learning experience, and you're going to come out the other side, so long as you choose to do this. But you have to understand that there's something going on that's much more powerful than just like simple raw animal emotion. Okay, this is something about like necessary saying. It's coming to terms with God, coming to terms with love, balancing out whatever was wrong, and going through the process of transformational energy healing. It might be very painful. You might end up apologizing and crying a lot and suffering grief and a shame. It might be the other person or someone else. Maybe they've hurt you very, very badly and they're going to heal and you're going to heal. Okay? So anyway, there you go. That's my reading. I hope it helps you. All right, Tina, you're up. Thank you, Necessary. You're very kind. We can connect later, all right, like you said. There we go. Tina, let's have a look here. Thanks, Necessary, for the support there. You're up, Tina. I'm sorry I couldn't keep up with all your chat there with Gregory about New Mexico and Albuquerque and the vets and the horses and all of that stuff. Okay, sorry. Anyway, you know the routine, Tina. I can only handle so much. For some reason, the chat is very busy tonight for me. That's a lot for me. So we got to factor that in. Because really, I have to concentrate on the reading itself, all right? So let's just do that. Okay, we're moving on. So we did a reading for Precious. We just did a reading for HGRB. Thanks to Necessary. You're very, very kind. We'll keep going. Let's see how I manage after this, all right? All right, Tina, you're up. You know the routine. Get yourself comfortable. Make sure you got all your invisible friends hanging out nice and close and cozy. Let's have fun. Let's do this properly. Anything can happen. Okay. We're using the broad spectrum here. Basically, what kind of messages do we have here for Tina tonight? Imagine the beautiful campfire. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. The sky has just gone dark. It's clear. You can see all the stars. You can even see the Milky Way. Maybe you can see Venus and Mercury. Maybe you can see the moon. Your beautiful animals are there. You got Charlie and Sasha. Well, actually, Ava's there. Ava hangs around. She's still a very vibrant soul, if I recall. So in a way, you've got 4, but you've got Charlie, Sasha, Ava, and Pax, okay? All right, Tina, let's have a look here. Cards are nicely shuffled. We're going to go deep diving. And here we go. What kind of messages do we have for Tina tonight? Luckily, we've worked together before, so we have a bit of a framework, a background, a bit of history. Pax means peace. There we go. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle things. Let's have a look. What's the surrounding influence? As you know, the planets are in very historic placements right now for the whole world, not just you, Tina. Let's have a look here. 8 of Wands. Wow. Oh, I'm very happy for you, Tina. You may just be getting a bit of a glimpse of some vitality in your life, in your world, where it's almost like, I didn't really expect this. I've had so many challenges over the last few years. The house, health, moving, relocating, losing your dear ones, and then having to go through a big change in life for yourself and everything like that. Work, money, all of it, family, all of it. And yet, here we are. There's Tina Miller. There you are. It's the center of the universe. Your home is now the center of the universe. You know, as far as this is concerned, all the gravitational impacts from all the planets all around, not only affect planet Earth, but they affect you very precisely. Okay? These would be the transits that are affecting everybody on Earth right now, and then they are affecting you, just like they affect me. And so I'm thinking of this as very, very personal right now, where we're looking at kind of a moment of just a hint of bliss. Okay, you might not even be used to it, might not even be aware of it, just like a sniff in the air, like, wow, I got this funny feeling that things aren't really that bad. It's almost like, good God, you know what? I almost feel good. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I almost feel good. Holy shit. How did that happen? Where did that happen? Wow. Yeah, and that's exciting. So when I see the 8 of Wands here, when you just get a tiny whiff of some beautiful energy, you just need a tiny whiff of it. Maybe it's something in the air. Maybe it's something that came to you in a dream, or maybe you just looked out on the horizon and you just came to an awareness about something with your family, your health, work, money, whatever it is, and you started to realize, like, it's not that bad. In fact, in some way, the world is an amazing place. And it triggers, like, this sense of vitality, like a little bit of your immune system kicks off and, like, kicks in, like, there's life to live, places to go, people to see, things to do. What's that going to look like? I don't know right now. What does it matter? This is good. This is really good, juicy vibes, but in a very, very delicate, very, very subtle way that's very good for you. And I think it's important that you acknowledge it. Like if you're thinking, nah, it can't be. Nah. It's important to accept goodness when it comes to you. You've earned it. You certainly earned it. All right, let's have a look. What's the situation? Okay. Kerblam. Wow. This looks very much like freedom to me. Almost makes you dizzy. Like if you just blink, All right, Tina, this makes me feel like literally if you just blink right now, what is it that you're seeing? Like, oh, wow. I never imagined I would be living this life in this place the way I'm living it right now with these big furry animals and my buddies on TarotLumination Sunday Night Live. But here we are. Blink. Wow. I never knew. I never thought of the world like that. I thought I'd look, wow, that was fun. We just did training with packs just for fun. I'm looking around my yard. I'm looking around my house like, maybe I'm going to do some reimagining here. How's that going to work? I have no idea. In fact, it doesn't even matter. Maybe I'm going to go on some weird little mini road trip. Maybe there's some little weird little, historical thing locally I've always wanted to see, and it's right there, but I've never bothered. Whatever it is. And there you are, look. Woof! 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 Can you put all 3 of your canines in your car at once? I know it's asking a lot, but if it's possible, I'm just curious. All right, let's have a look. So, okay, what's the problem here? Okay, we got the Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, you might be just going through a little bit of a moment of fear and a quandary like, okay, yeah, I kind of have things together. In my own weird, unique way, I, Tina Miller, have lived a life. I've done this, I've done that, I've had spectacular pain and losses and failures. I've done some really stupid stuff. I've also got some amazing things happening in my life. I've got this home. I've got a new journey opening up with me with new lifestyle. Oh, not quite sure what that looks like yet, but it's showing early stages of definition. We'll see what that looks like down the road, but for now, with the Queen of Pentacles here, it makes me feel like, okay, so I'm having, let's just say, Tina, that you understand and accept that you might not have even been aware of it, but you're actually having a moment of inspiration, a flash of awareness about the beauty and wonders of life, No matter how bad things are, every now and again you get a moment where you think like, wow, just wow. That is just amazing. Life is just the most amazing phenomenon. We're here. We experience pain. We experience joy. We're gone. Repeat, 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 repeat. And this is this lifetime right now. And the challenge right now is like, I've come this far, and I do have assets and resources and gifts and talents. In fact, I'm pretty good at all sorts of things. And I've helped a lot of people. But it's a little bit time for me to take care of myself right now. But I have to be, this is a little bit new for me. I have to be much more discerning going forward in life in how I dispense my talents and gifts and resources so they are not squandered. Because I know I've had issues with that sort of behavior. Unacceptable. All right, so how do we proceed here? Okay, let's move forward. Okay, to move forward and let's say take advantage of all the good stuff here. So look at the future, look at the new world that's unfolding before you, all the life that you've lived up to now, and blink the life that is going to unfold going forward. With the 9 of Swords here, if you're not used to it, Tina, I don't know, some people are very, very bad at grieving. They will not allow themselves to grieve because they know damn well that grieving is one of the most painful things on earth. Okay? People will do anything to bury grief. All right? Not acceptable. Okay? So if there is something smoldering underneath, and you know it's there, grief for whatever it is. Oh, the things that I never did that I should have done. Oh, all the mistakes that I made that I never should have done. Oh, what did I do wrong with my family, my money, my gifts, my talents? How did I let myself down? All the loved ones that I've lost over the years, whatever that is. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm being kind of blunt here, Tina, but if there's issues that need grieving, the only way to heal is by going through the grieving process. All right? I've been dealing with a friend of a friend over here regarding that process. Grief is extremely painful. Nobody wants to deal with it. And if you look at the Nine of Swords here, what this is an indication is that you can peel it off in layers, okay? Do not try to do this all at once, okay? Move forward. Give yourself permission to have one of those tissue moments where you just literally give yourself a moment to turn into a blubbering, snotty mess, and it all comes out. No, I should never. I'm so. How did that happen? They should never have done that to me. I didn't deserve it, or I should never. Whatever it is, okay. Just do it in little doses, okay. So you don't destroy all this wonderful stuff here by trying to get it over with. And do not try to medicate this out of existence. No, not right, not good. Okay? So the way forward is to allow for healing. The way to allow for healing is to allow for the grieving process, for whatever that looks like for you, to begin, to occur, to work through it incrementally. You don't have to do it all tonight or tomorrow, whatever, but just put this as a post-it note on your mirror, on your refrigerator, yeah, I got to take care of this. This is not healthy for me to carry all day, every day. Not good. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Tina. I hope that makes sense for you. I'm going to clear the deck here. We're going to move on, okay? Oh. All right, so let's have a look here. So, all right, so, okay, looks like we're doing a reading for Fluffles tonight. I still have a little bit of energy left inside of me, but this is going to be it. All right, that's a lot of readings for me lately. Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you got something out of it. Fluffles, you're up. Brace yourself. You know what to do. Bring them in. Talk to your invisible friends. Tell them it's time for your reading. Everybody hang close. You're sitting at the campfire. Everybody here is around you. We're all having our own little mini side conversations, but you're the actual star of the moment. It's just you and me right now. We're going to work together, and other people might want to watch and listen in case it's relevant to their lives too. Sometimes that happens. But anyway, so Fluffles, you put some notes on there. What's this? A question? Wait a minute. I knew it was. Did you get my question? No. I've seen lots of stuff in the chat here, but I don't see a specific question. Keep it extremely simple, okay, Fluffles? You know that. What kind of messages do you have for me tonight, TarotLumination, regarding the subject of ... my mother, her, whatever it is, the family, the money, or whatever it is. Okay? What kind of messages do you have for me tonight, TarotLumination, regarding the subject of ... All right? So I'm going to shuffle up for you. Get ready to do your reading. About your stepdad. Okay, that's all I need to know. Don't say anything else. Don't say anything else, okay? We're good. Yeah. All right, what kind of messages do we need to know here tonight about Fluffle's stepdad? Got it. I got that. I got the message. Don't worry. Got it. Thank you. Are you cozy, Fluffles? You sitting comfortably, relaxed, trusting that your wonderful invisible friends are there for you, for better or worse, whatever your situation may be. They basically want you to heal, because the only reason anyone ever gets a tarot reading is because they need healing. Duh. Healing in some form, okay? You know, the answer to a question, or shedding some light on an issue. Whatever it is, it's ultimately healing. And ultimately, you have to reveal whatever it is in order to heal whatever it is. You've got your mom's mother here. Would that be your grandmother on your mother's side? Wow. Okay. Wow, we have an extended audience. Here we go, folks. What kind of messages do we have here for Fluffles tonight regarding the stepdad? All right, here we go. Let's have a look. All right, let's have a look. Here's the situation. Here's the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle things going forward. Let's have a look at the surrounding energies. Fluffles, you have to remember, just like everyone else on planet Earth right now, we're going through phenomenal astrological history. Pluto on the cusp, Neptune on the cusp, Uranus heading towards the cusp. Soon these are going to be very acute, okay? This is extremely rare, and it's the other thing about it is that we're talking about the transpersonal planets. You can't even see them. You can see Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But you can't see Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto unless you've got some really good telescopes or something. And you know where to look. That's the hardest part. But anyway, when we're dealing with Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, usually we're talking about the energy fields that are very, very hard to discern in terms of our day-to-day life, like in words, language, action, reaction, solutions, fate, luck, bad luck, good luck, destiny, whatever you want to call it, divine intervention, okay? Okay. You got your mom's mother here. Oh, you're talking about, your mother is on the other side. She's one of your invisible friends. Oh, okay. Got it. All right, so now that we understand we're all dealing with very profound times here, let's have a look. Let's have a look at external influence. Let's have a look here. Okay. I can't believe. Look at that. 8 of Wands. Okay, so this is very exciting. I'm very happy for you, Fluffles. Now, this feels very much for me, in this case, it feels very much, it's time to seize the moment. It's time to, it's like tuning into Aries energy. Okay, let me go to the chart. You're dealing with dynamic issues here. We just had the full moon. Okay, a lot of very profound, very, very deep, profound relationship dynamics have surfaced for the whole planet recently. Okay, whether it's you, Fluffles, on the personal level, like with the stepdad, whether it's, China and America, whether it's Ukraine, Russia, whether it's Israel, Iran, whether it's America, Iran, whether it's the tariff war, the currency markets war, whatever it is, the relationship dynamic that we just had, the full moon, is the opposition is one of the most powerful aspects, okay? And it involves Aries and Libra. In other words, self-other. So we could say either the Aries sun represents you and the moon represented the other, or the Aries sun represented the other, and how does that affect you? Aries sun anyway, it's the relationship dynamic, for better or worse. In a classic healthy sense, the Libra-Aries dynamic is the concept of marriage, Libra, okay, partnership, profound one-on-one partnerships, like a marriage, like a business contract. And that's been huge stuff across the world lately. And so that can happen in a personal life. Your relationship with another with you, and so on. And by degrees of separation as well. Maybe your stepdad is having 1 degree of separation effect on you, and so on and so on. But what I'm saying with the Aries energy, what I'm sensing with this, with the 8 of Wands, it's really important to put yourself at the center of the universe right now, and just say, basically convince yourself this is all happening. What's that expression? This is not happening to me, this is happening for me, and that you're going to have some growth and awareness out of this. All right? So, and it's for you. It's all about you right now, taking care of you. And the thing about the Aries-Libra opposition, which is the Mars-Venus opposition, which is the marriage opposition, marriage can be one of the most profound and important dynamics in the life of a person, if you've got the right partner. You with them with you. However, you pick the wrong partner, and it can be the worst decision you've ever made. And the pain is irreconcilable. Ugh. That's very common, of course. Okay? So, anyway, the moon is past. We're already into Scorpio. But if you mention something to do with money, Scorpio is very much about money. Other people's money. And if there's some conflict going on about that right now, this looks like the perfect time for you. To me, it makes me feel like this. I'm just going to have to do some acting. It's almost like, hi, I'm Fluffles. I'm sick of the bullshit going on here. I want to know what's going on. I'm not exactly keen or excited about what this stepdad character, my stepdad, is up to, how he behaves, who he thinks he is, what he does, and all that kind of stuff. I want answers, healing, I want reconciliation, whatever that is, to you. I want to know what's going on. Because it's affecting me. And I have the right to be me. I want to be me. I want my best life for me. And something is not right about what's going on over there. Stepdad. It doesn't have to be vicious or nasty. It's just that things need to be sorted out so that you, Fluffles, you can be you, your most awesome version of you, without the impediments of expectations or impositions from out there, from others. It doesn't even have to be direct. It can be, I call it 1 degree of separation, where there's a certain expectation maybe of this stepdad that's not openly expressed through words, but maybe simmering, Anyway, let's have a look. Let's keep going. What's the situation here? Ace of Cups. Oh boy. Okay, so with the Ace of Cups here, let me just check your notes here. I believe in him, TL. My siblings feel what you're saying. Oh, okay. They don't believe in him. But TL, they, in other words, your mom and the stepdad, they've been married 34 years. That's a long time. Okay. Because he loves my mother to death. And okay, all right. Okay, well, look at that. Isn't that interesting? Kaboom, Ace of Cups. It's just pure love. And maybe if your siblings don't get it, you know what? Honestly, Fluffles, if your siblings don't get it, what is that to you? So long as you believe in him, your mom believes in him, and he believes in your mom, and the love is there, who cares about the rest? That's kind of what I'm sensing here. This is very simple. It's very pure. It's very, very blunt. And now that you've kind of put some more accuracy into the reading here, it made it even simpler. If you fluffles truly believe that this stepdad loves your mom, then so be it. If your siblings are out of whack with that, that's their problem. He's dying, he's 78, and he's going to need to live. And he is dying, she's 78, and she's going to have to need to live without him. Sure, okay? This happens to everybody. So, it's funny, isn't it, how these things come out in life? We get through these stages where this is it. It's the end game. If you already know he's dying, sometimes I don't... You know what, Fluffles? Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. I've been having conversations with Love Triber recently about, death and stuff. What is it? How does it affect us all, Because there's been quite a few sequences over here recently. It's shocking, it's painful, it's frightening, it's beautiful. It's something, you know how I am. I sometimes get these sort of psychic phenomenons, and I according to divine ordinance, I will connect very vividly with the other side with certain very specific characters. And sometimes it's just a lot of fun and very amusing, and death is really not the issue at all. But here in a three-dimensional world, it can be really, really terrifying. It can be terrifying and beautiful at the same time, okay? So when I see the Ace of Cups here, sometimes it's very, very, when people are very, very close to the end, where this amazing surge of love is exposed. Sometimes a lot of people have great difficulty in handling or navigating love, the healing power of love, the phenomenon of love in their life on the day-to-day basis, right up to the very last minute. And sometimes at the very last moments, there's this profound reconciliation. I keep using that word a lot tonight. I don't know why. Profound reckoning, where the person who's dying reaches a point of peace with themselves. It's like a moment of surrender, and everything kind of makes sense. They are already, in fact, I've watched videos. I've been with, people as they pass and so on. And there's someone on YouTube, she does videos because she's a hospice nurse. And she's always got these crazy stories about people, but it's very, very consistent. Healthy dying is a very healthy, normal thing. It's a process. You're genetically speaking, your telomeres have reached the end. Your vital organs slowly start shutting down, and so on. As the body prepares to move on, the body shuts down, and so on. And if it's a gentle dying process, it's very common for the person who's dying to become aware of the other side while they're still alive, to the point where they're going like, oh, hey, that's Grandma. Or like, oh, look, there's my old pet from when I was a little kid. Oh, look, there's my best friend when I was at school. Or like, oh, whatever it is. And of course, to an observer, it sounds insane. But all of us here know exactly what's going on. So okay, let me go back to the reading. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there. All right? Okay, what's up? Okay, let's have a look here. Let's see what's going on. He's dying. Okay. I wish my siblings would see what I see, but are they right? Or am I? I believe in him. They don't trust him. Ugh. Well, if that's a point of argument, I have a feeling about this. I'm just going to... What's it to you, Fluffles? Is it your job to convince your siblings that your stepdad is awesome and that he loves your mom and that you love him and all that stuff? Is that your job? Or do you feel it's your duty? If they have reasons to not trust him or to not love him or not believe that he does not love your mom, that's really their business. That's their life and their world. That's their choices. And there's no... I'm just telling what I'm sensing. This is very, very pure. It's very, very simple. It really doesn't matter what they think or they feel. They're basing their thoughts and their feelings on whatever it is. And it may or may not be your business, but it's really them with their feelings, their lives and stuff. And so long as you're okay, the healing power of love will flow. I don't know if the siblings get into conflict with your mom and do things like, Mom, why did you waste your time for 34 years with this guy just screwing you over or whatever it is? He's a fraud, whatever it is they're saying, okay? I don't know how bad it gets with arguments and stuff like that. But at this point where he's dying and your mom's going to have to live on without him, who cares about all that contention and all that petty garbage? Because it's really irrelevant at this point. This is the only thing that really counts. And so long as you hold that true to yourself, for your stepdad, for your mom, that's really all you need. And then the challenge becomes, now I haven't even got to the rest of it yet, but the challenge becomes, how do you disengage? How do you separate yourself from sibling anxiety? Because you're siblings. We feel things very, very closely. I love my brother and my sister. They love me very profoundly, but we've also had some very, very bad situations, okay? But love prevails because we choose that. It means having to choose new ways to behave. How I behave with my brother and sister, how they behave with me, because we all figured out and decided, without declaring any of it, that we preferred to love and be loved rather than just drown in conflict. Okay? So I'm trying to share a personal feeling here where you have a chance now. Aces of Cups are a sacred opportunity. Okay? You have a chance to really simplify and purify this thing where it's like a process of complete detachment. Like, I don't give a crap what you think. Dear siblings, that's your problem. I feel sorry for you. If you don't love this man, if you can't see what I see, that's your loss. That's your problem. I can't help you. I'm not going to waste my time trying to help you. You've got to figure things out for yourself. It's your life. I'm living my life. I'm here for my mom. I'm here for him. And so on and so on. Super, super, super simple. But simple is not easy. Okay, Fluffles? Like divine detachment. That's what I'm thinking about. Anyway, here's the challenges. Okay, with death, don't be scared of the death card. It is a card of transformation. It's the ultimate transformation. Remember, death is not going into a black hole of oblivion. You know those people, what are they called? YOLOs? You only live once. In other words, when somebody dies, that's it. It's the end. There's nothing. It's just nothing. Okay? We here on this channel, we know that it's not it. That's not at all. We know life just continues, but it transforms. You go through a profound transformation from this physical existence into a multidimensional existence on the other side. It's just transformation. It's pure and simple transformation. You're moving from one world to another. Okay? There's the other side. It's a beautiful thing, okay? I hope the card will show it. Let me see if the card will pick it up on the camera. Oh, come on, little camera. It's not the best camera, I know, but we'll try. Oh. You see? There it is. Just consider that the sign of heaven. But what do they say? I walk through the valley of death. I fear no evil because I know I'm going to end up in heaven. There you go. Nothing to fear here. Okay, Fluffles? Nothing to fear. It's just good old-fashioned transformation. It's the transformation from this life to the next life. The rest of it's not your business. It really isn't. Your siblings are completely singular entities in their own right. Again, think of the Aries energy right now. They have the right to be themselves. They have the right to hold grudges and be bitter and resentful and non-believers, whatever. That's not your problem. Don't let it stain your world. Hey, you, get off of my cloud. You don't even have to tell them that. It's just pure detachment. It's very, very hard to do that. In other words, don't take the bait. If they're trying to suck you into arguments about how horrible he is and how he screwed over your mom, don't take the bait. Allow the transformation to occur very gracefully, very, very beautifully, and just be there for your mom later on. That's all. Oh, that's awful. How do I get them to not kill her from broken heart syndrome? Oh, they're bringing up crap they haven't had for 30 years. So now they're going to bring it up about her. That's disgusting. That's awful. Ugh. I'm going to tell you something, okay? Before I go to this card, all right, Fluffles? This is an extreme... Okay. I'm just going to convey a personal story. Dealing with siblings. There was a period in my family where there was a lot of contention. This is going back, years. And I've always known that there were like simmering, issues between myself and my brother and sister. All families have it, for whatever reason. Oh, this resentment about this, resentment about that. Love of this, love of that. And when things became so contentious between my brother and sister towards my mother and my father separately, I decided to go absolutely ballistic. I decided to exercise my right as a sibling with equal rights to my mom and dad. And I basically went at them. I went at my brother and sister. I was really blunt. Not vicious in an evil way, but vicious in terms of my attack. I went on attack. I went very hard, very deep, very fast. I just suddenly flipped. Instead of being the softy, benign brother, artsy-fartsy musician, writer, artist, whatever, I went total hostile, ballistic warrior. And it brought them to their knees. I laid out certain very specific things about our mother and father and how we, the children, would not be here enjoying the amazing, bountiful lives that we have without them. Our mother and father sacrificed so much to bring us to what we have and who we are today. So do not ever forget that. If you're going to be bitter and vindictive about these really trivial, petty things, and that's what's taken up your brain, you need to shut up. You need to wake up and show a little bit of the attitude of gratitude. And so I went on at it, but it was very short, very blunt, very direct, and the message had instantaneous, profound healing between myself and my brother and my sister. They'd never seen me like that because they don't know that side of me. But once that happened, it was unbelievable, the change that happened. My brother and sister were totally humbled and shamed into a reality that they never imagined. And they suddenly became very caring towards my mom and dad in their times of need. It was a mind-boggling thing to witness, okay? I'm not saying you have to do what I did, because you can just be detached. You can just be, just get out of the room, get out of here. I'm going to hang out with mom, and so on, and comfort your mom. Try to heal your mom. That's one way. Anyway, let's get back to the reading. How are we going to proceed here? Let's have a look. Oh boy. Oh, Fluffles. Fluffles, I've got the Page of Swords here. I don't know what ranking you have with your siblings, Fluffles, whether you're the first, the middle, the end, or whatever it is, but you have power. You have amazing power right here, and you are swimming right now in this vortex of opportunity where the healing power of love is flowing like a flood, okay? And if you want resolution here, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to be really blunt, Fluffles. What this Page of Swords is indicating to me is you're going to have to call out your brother and sister very, very viciously, bluntly, aggressively, right to their faces, like a whistleblower. Very much in the way that I described. It's a little bit scary because I decided, you know what, fuck it. I've got nothing to lose here. I refuse to let my mom and dad suffer the indignation by a couple of pissed off children. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. It's time. My feeling here, Fluffles, it's time for you to go ballistic, take charge, go full on warrior, Aries, fighter mode. You have to become a savage. That's what I'm sensing here. You go totally savage. You're the baby, but you're respected. Okay, just call it out. Hey guys, I'm the baby, but I know I'm respected. I'm going to go utterly savage on you, and I'm going to explain exactly what's going on here and why you need to shut the bleep up and get grateful and understand that it's not just about you and your grumpy little petty grievances. All right? All right? All right? So, yeah. I think, Fluffles, you're going to have to go savage. You're going to have to call out the raw truth. Okay? No shame, no apologies, okay? You're going to have to go totally warrior savage on this, all right? So that's your mini reading. I hope that helps. I'm not telling you well, I guess I did tell you that you have to do it. You don't have to do it, but the reading is indicating that this would be a very healthy way forward. No apologies, literally no apologies, okay? Not acceptable. It might sound very weird, but you're going to have to put your elder siblings in place. They need to be humbled. They need to be brought in alignment with truth, according to the reading. The healing power of love is the essence of this thing. And that's all that counts in the end. There. In other words, do you want to die bearing grudges? Do you want to die yourself knowing that you've been bearing grudges towards your mom and your stepdad? Do whatever you've got to do. Do whatever you've got to say. I would keep it very blunt, very, very simple, very pure, very, very, very truthful, based on facts, knowledge, okay? Not really emotion at all. This is not really an emotional thing, okay? I just wanted to take one visual look at it again. Okay. Hold on, what was that in the chat? I missed it. Okay. All right. Okay, it sounds like you're being very polite there, Fluffles. Please do not be shy. Do not be shy about this, Fluffles. I think there is some serious wake-up call that needs to happen here. And you're going to have to deliver the message. And I would add a little bit of punch to it, okay? I would not, how can I say this politely? I would tap into every element of Aries energy that you might have in your nature somewhere. Because it's in your chart somewhere. Aspected or not, planets or not, it's there. This is very, very powerful Aries energy. We just had an Aries full moon where everything just came to light with the horrible dynamics with your siblings regarding your mom and stepdad. Enough. Okay? The page is youthful, innocent, and pure. Okay? You're calling out the truth, and do not be shy about, how can I say this? Being very forceful without using crappy language. It's important that you're extremely forceful with your communications. Don't try to calm it down or soften it up. I think it's very important that you are very blunt, direct, acute, sharp, surgically forceful, so that they understand within a matter of a few words exactly what's going on. And then you just calmly walk away. And then it's up to them to transform themselves. Okay? Because they will be ashamed of themselves if they don't. Put it that way. How about that? All right, I got to pick this all up and clean up the deck here, all right? All right. Okay. Well, I'm really glad we did this reading with you tonight after all, Fluffles. Okay? Instead of waiting. There's no time to wait with something like this, okay? In your situation, no time to wait. All right, that's it. Wrapping it up. We'll catch up later, okay? Necessary? All right, there we go. Beautiful. Well, thank you, folks, for hanging out with me. I'm glad you got something out of this. And God willing, we'll be here next Sunday if I can get... it's taking me so long getting used to the idea of doing my astrology on Rumble and doing the Sunday night readings here on YouTube. Oh, whoa. Hey, Gregory. All right, I'm just going to get out, okay? You got lives to live, places to go, things to do, people to see, so do it. Protect your money, protect your privacy, protect yourself. Be loving, be loved, okay? Good night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your kind